Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial on how to complete your Etude on France application. My name is Akosio and I work with Campus France. I'll be walking you through the process from start to finish. By the end of this session, you'll know exactly how to create your account, fill in your details, select your programs, and submit your application successfully. Before we begin the actual application, let's take a moment to talk about the Etudes on France or EEF platform. The EEF platform is an online system managed by Campus France. It's the official gateway for international students, including those from Ghana who want to study in France, just like you. Instead of applying separately from each university, the EEF platform allows you to create a single file with your personal and academic information, apply to multiple universities and programs through one account, track the progress of your applications, and later on, use the same account to prepare for your visa application. So let's get started.
Now, first, what you're going to do is to open a web browser. You can use Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. I advise against using Opera or Microsoft Edge. It could give you issues as you're going along the procedure. So I open a new tab, and in the Google search bar, I search the words Études en France. So I click on the first link, and then this is where it brings me to. So this right here is the Études en France application portal. So the website is originally in French, but if you do not understand French, then you can change the language to English. I strongly advise against using the translation tool of your web browser to change the language. It's best to use the translation tool on the Études en France website. So I click here, go to sign up. This is where you click to create a new account. So here you see, j'ai créé mon compte, I create my account. And then the first thing you're being asked for is to fill up all the parts that have an asterisk, meaning that it's compulsory to fill those parts. Now you have to select your Campus France office. So this is a drop-down menu. I click on that and I go through the list. I select my Campus France country, which is Espace Campus France Ghana. Now, when I click on that, the remaining part of the form opens up. So first, you're being asked to put your email address. So I'm going to put in my email address. And then you confirm the email address again. Make sure that it matches, otherwise it will be flagged. Now you're to put your surname, it should be in caps. So I put my surname. The next thing is for other last names. Now, other last names is for women that are married and have changed their maiden names, and hence they would need to put their maiden names over here. So if you're a man, this section does not concern you. It's only for women who have changed their names and will put their maiden names over here. So my surname is still the same. So I come back to my first name. Now, when you get to this section, you have to put down your name exactly as it appears in your passport. In your passport, you have surname and then first name. If you have any middle name, that is still under first name in your passport. So it needs to be the same thing on your account. So I type out my name. Then I select my gender. I'm female. Now I'll need to put in my date of birth. So I select my date of birth. And then I also need to select my country of birth. So I look through the drop-down menu and I select my country of birth. Now I need to put down my place of birth exactly as it appears in my passport. So when I open up my passport, my place of birth says Accra. And then my country of nationality is Ghana. Now to national ID. Over here, the ID you're supposed to use is your passport. If you have a passport, that is the option you're to pick out. But if you don't have a passport yet, you'll need to get it anyways. But if you don't have a passport yet, you select national ID, so Ghana card. So I select passport, and for the foreigners, the non-Ghanaians, you're all to select passport and residence permit. So I have my passport, I would select passport. Now I need to input the expiration date on my passport, which is 11th of May 2031. And then I type out my ID number. So if you're using the old passport, it would begin with a capital G or a capital A. If you're using the new passport, it will begin with an N. So that is just for the Ghanaian passport. But basically, you need to put down your passport number exactly as it appears in your passport booklet. So, and then I just write out my passport number. And there we go. Then I select the country of issue of my ID. So my ID was issued in Ghana. Now I check the box that says I agree that my personal information will be used for applying to study in France. You check the second box as well. And then you click on create an account. So after this, you move on straight into your inbox with the email that you used to wait to get the email with a link to activate your account and to create the password. So I log on to my email. It may take a few minutes, but you will get it shortly. So you can keep refreshing your inbox to check and see if you have got that email. However, in the meantime, while you're waiting for the email to come, you can take a pen and a paper and then write down what you would want your password to be. Now, for the password, there are some rules. The password needs to be between 8 and 15 characters. It should have a capital letter, a small letter, a special character, and at least one number. So with a piece of paper and a pen, you can, okay, I've got the email. With a piece of paper and a pen, you can just write down that password. All right, so this is the email, and then I click on the link to activate my account. So when I click here, I'm being asked to write out my email address again. And then now I need to create my password. So my password, you're not going to see the password that you're typing. That is why it's very advisable to write it down so you know exactly what you're typing out and you don't make any mistake with that. So I put in my password and you make sure that it's the same thing. All right, so these are the instructions for the password, and then you click on confirm the creation of my account. So you can save your login details onto your device if it's yours. Click on log into Etudes en France platform. So it brings us back to the home page of the platform. And then if you don't speak French, you can just change the language to English again. This time round, you select sign in. And then you would need to put in your email address and then your password. So when you log onto your account, this is the very first thing you're going to be seeing. You'd see, I wish to apply. I already have an admission, your mailbox, your account. At the top right, you'd see some logos from Études en France and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in France. To the top right corner, you'd see your full name, your Campus France office, and then your Etudes en France identification number. It is advisable to keep this number in your head because you'll be needing that whenever you need assistance from Campus France with regards to your file. All right, now, if you want to start your application, you're to click on I wish to apply. So I select I wish to apply. Now, the very first thing you're going to do is to complete your application. After you've completed the application, then the next thing that follows is your file verification by Campus France, and then you have your chosen higher education institution to be reviewing your files. So we're going to go with the first step. Now, the first thing you're being asked for is 1.1, provide my personal details. This is the part of the application where you'd have to provide your personal details and the documents that you need for your application. Now, as you may already know, there are just a few documents that you'd be needing. So first, personal information, you have logins and picture. So you get to see your email, and then you also get to see your Etude and France identification number. Now, the first thing you have to do is to upload a copy of your passport picture. It needs to be an official passport picture with a white background. No selfies are accepted. So you click here, change my picture, and note the picture should be not more than, 50 kilobytes. So I go into my computer and then I select my document. Now, it's best if you properly name the documents that you're going to upload for easy identification by the institutions. So I look through my saved documents and get my passport picture. Like I mentioned, it should not be more than 50 kilobytes. I click open, and then there you have the passport picture. So it should be with a white background or a gray background. All right. Now the next thing you're to do is to upload a copy of your ID. So first you verify the information that you have provided, make sure to see if everything is in order. Then you come to supporting documents. That is where you go to upload your documents. So you select the spot, choose file, and then it opens up your computer. So you look through the list and then select the passport scan. Now the scan of the passport should be properly done with an actual scanning machine. And the size of the document should not exceed 300 kilobytes. So when you open up your passport, you need to scan the complete booklet. So when we open it up, it should properly show the complete booklet, the page with the biodata information and your picture, as well as the page on top. You scan the whole thing with an actual scanner. Do not use your phone to scan your passport. Do not use your phone to take a picture of the passport. Do not use any application, maybe Genius Scan or Cam Scanner on your phone to scan your passport. It needs to be properly done with an actual scanning machine. If you don't have one, you can take your documents to a printing shop for them to scan your documents properly for you. All right. So when you're done, you close it. My document has been uploaded. We move on to the next stage. That is your contact information. So you click on modify. In this section, you are to put your complete residential address and your contact numbers. So for the residential address, you are to put in a house number, a street name, so you need to know your street name, and then you add the community or the area or the suburb where you live. So this address is complete now. It is 9 Casley Hayford Road, Airport Residential Area. Now in Ghana, we do not have a zip code, so you just type out 5 zeros. The next thing is the region. You need to select the region in Ghana where you currently live. So I live in Greater Accra. Now, if you live in Greater Accra as well, please select the option that says Greater Accra and not just Greater. There's no region in Ghana that is called Greater. Also, for those in the central region, please select the region that is written in all caps, and Takoradi is not a region. So I select Greater Accra, then I come and select the city in Greater Accra where I live. Now, the next thing is to put on your contact numbers. Now, your mobile phone number is what you put here. So the country code is 233, and then you put down the mobile phone number. When it comes to the home phone number, this is if you have any secondary number or an emergency contact. So that is what you put over there. If you don't have any, you leave it blank, and then you click on save. Now this section is complete. The next thing is for scholarships, grants, and waiver. Mind you, this section does not work for people that want to apply for a scholarship. If you want to apply for a scholarship, you do that separately from this application. Now, this section is to let Campus France know whether or not you have been granted a scholarship. So if you don't have any scholarship at the time you're applying, you are to select My situation doesn't apply to any of the above. And then you click save. Now, the next thing is to upload a CV. The CV is mandatory. It is not optional. Everybody needs to provide an academic CV, and it should not exceed a page and a half. It should be in a PDF format as well. So an academic CV means it should focus more on your academic background and achievements than your working experiences. Your educational background should begin from high school, and it should be in the reverse chronological order, where your most recent activity starts at the top. So I look through my list and then I select my academic CV, properly named for easy identification. So I go back down, click view. Now this is an example of a very simple academic CV. It should not exceed a page and a half. At least it should be one page. So now we're done with my CV. The next thing is to fill up your curriculum. Now you are to select an option from the drop-down menu to create lines for each of your educational background. So starting from high school, I select a senior high school degree, WASI or equivalent. I click add. And then I put down information about my senior high school degree. And this information has to tally with whatever information that is found on your CV. So you select the year that you completed, the country, the region, the city, and then you select the institution. So you look through the list to select the institution that you went to. Then you do not check this box if you did not write a French high school certificate examination. If you wrote a Francophone high school certificate examination, you don't check this box. If you wrote WASI or SSC, you don't check this box. So now you come and select the type of degree that you have, whether it's a Francophone degree, a French degree, Cambridge A-level, an international baccalaureate, or if it's an SSSC or a WASI certificate. Now in Ghana, we do not have average score or distinction on our WASI certificate, so you leave this part blank. And then you click save. So the line for high school has been formed. Then you go back to the drop-down menu to select another option to put down your information about your bachelor degree or your university degree. Now, for all university degrees, be it bachelor, master's, PhD, a diploma, or an HND, you are supposed to select the second option, a higher education degree, not the first one. And then you click add. You select the year you completed, the country, the region, then you select the city, the institution. You look through the list to select the institution that you went to. You select the type of degree. Is it a Bachelor of Arts? Is it a Bachelor of Business? Bachelor of Commerce, BSc, Bachelor of Technology? You select the one that you went for. And then you are to type out the full title of your degree exactly as it appears in your certificate. A Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences. exactly as it appears in your certificate, Amos. All right. Then you need to select your field of study. So that is environmental and health science. You select your average score. So if your school uses the GPA system, you put your GPA score over there. If it uses the CWA system, you put the CWA score also over here. So that would be your 65 over 100. No, it's 65.79 over 100. Exactly as it appears in your transcript as well. Then you select the corresponding distinction. Now, like I mentioned early on, this page is originally in French, and hence, when you translate into English, there are certain things that do not translate exactly. So when you see first class, the very first option for first class is actually a first class. The second option for first class you're seeing here is, in actual terms, is a second upper. Then the second upper you're seeing here is a second lower. The second lower you're seeing here is a third class. Then you have pass, and then you have no distinction at all. So 65.79 over 100 in KNUST, that is a second upper distinction. Then you select the type of degree on site, and then you're at liberty to leave a comment whether you wish or not. When you're done, you click save. And then you have that line created also for your bachelor degree. If you have an HND, you go through the same procedure. If you have a diploma, you add the same procedure. Now, I will briefly explain what the options in the drop-down menu are for. A year of higher education is when you have studied in a university, not for, I mean, it could be for a bachelor degree or for a diploma, but you did not complete and hence you did not get a certificate. This is the option that you select. I've already explained the higher education degree and the senior high school degree, what's your equivalent. Now, a year in senior high school is for the people that are applying for a bachelor degree from a francophone country. You need to put down information for each of the 3 years of your high school, your lycée. So you select this option to add information about the seconde, première, and terminale. You select this part if you have taken an entrance exam, and then you select this part for any other activity. It could be a short course or any national international diploma. So I did a year abroad in France for my program. So I'm going to select another activity. I click add. I select the year that I went for. And then I select the country where I had that activity in. So that is France. I put down the region I spent that activity at. So that is Nouvelle-Aquitaine. I come and select the city I was in, Bordeaux. And then I put in the title of my degree. So I would say this is a year abroad program. Now you need to give a description of what exactly this activity was for. So if it was a part of your bachelor degree education, it was a compulsory course for the students in the third year to travel to France to do a short program. You explain that whole situation in this part. So you give it a description. Then you click save. So a line for that has also been formed. Now, the next thing you're to do is to upload the necessary documents. So starting from high school, you're to upload your WASI certificate. So I select supporting documents. I click on choose file. I look through my list of documents. I select the one for WASI certificate. Now I have my WASI certificate added. Now it needs to be properly scanned with an actual machine and not with your phone. I close it, I go back down. Now you need to also upload your documents for another activity. So if it's a certificate, a transcript, you upload that over there. You can merge your documents into one, but you can also upload them separately. So here I have my documents uploaded. I close, I go back. Now, the next thing is for my bachelor degree. For your bachelor degree, for diploma, HND, master's degree, you need to upload a scanned copy of your transcripts and of your certificate. Now, if your transcript has multiple pages and hence it's too big, the size is more than 300 kilobytes, you are at liberty to separate the documents and upload multiple documents in this section. However, you need to properly name the documents for easy identification. So I click choose file. Now my transcript has been divided into 3 documents and then the pages have been named. So I have my transcripts for page 1 to 2, page 3 to 4, and then page 5. So I select, I upload, then I select again, I upload, and then I select the third one, I upload. So you have your transcripts showing well named and easy to identify. Now you also need to upload a scanned copy of your certificate. So I have undergraduate certificate. Perfect. The certificate needs to also be scanned properly. So now I am done with this section. I come down to the proficiency. It's asking for French language proficiency exams. Unfortunately, I do not have a French language proficiency exam, so I skipped this part altogether. Now, the next thing is asking for a level in French. If you have passed any French proficiency, do not fill this section. Add the exam section, and then over here you upload your supporting document. It could be your transcript or admission letter. So you click on modify. Everybody needs to click on modify. If you did not select the French proficiency exam, you have to fill out the section. Now, the first thing you're being asked is parts or all of my education was in French, and I have studied French. And that is yes for me. I have studied French as well. If you haven't studied French at all, you select no. And if part or all of your education was not in French at the university level, you select no. But if you select yes, then you need to put down more information. So you need to put down information about the institution where you studied the French language. Now you need to specify the number of hours of French lessons. It's quite a number. So you give an approximate number of hours that you spent for the whole French lessons in your university degree. And then you select the period for which you studied. So if it was a short program or just a semester or a few months, you select as such. Now you also need to specify the level you attained. Either it's a beginner A1, A2, an intermediate B1, B2, or the advanced level C1, C2. So I completed with an intermediate level of B2. I click save, and now because I have put down this information, I need to provide my transcripts as supporting documents. If you selected no, there is no need for you to upload any supporting documents. So I upload all my transcripts again. All right, I'm done with this part. Then I scroll back down to the final stage. Stays in France. Yes, I mentioned early on that we went for a year abroad program, so it means I stayed in France. If you haven't stayed in France before, please leave this part blank. But if you have, then you need to fill it out. So you click on add. You select the period in which you stayed in France, the start date of your stay and the end date of your stay. You put down the location where you stayed. So that was Pessac, Bordeaux. And in a few words, you need to describe what you did in France and how you put the knowledge of your French language into practice. So you give that brief description in this section. Now you have just 1,000 character space, so please be mindful and keep it brief. Now the last part in this section is to fill in your level in English. As a Ghanaian, English is your native language, so you select first language. But if English is not your native language and you have studied English before, you select yes. If you haven't, you select no. Then you put down any other foreign languages you speak. Hold on, for me, I speak French also. So I put français. Now we're done with this very first section. You click back. Everything else has been saved. So you notice that 1.1 says complete. So we can move on to the next stage, which is 1.2, filling up the program card. Now, before we get into filling up your program card, let me briefly explain how you can search for programs to fill up the program card. So you go onto the main Campus France Ghana website. Make sure you're seeing Campus France Ghana. On the home page, you scroll down, you'd see what programs are you looking for. I am looking for, you select a type of course, you choose Taught in English. You click Consult the Catalogs, and now the Campus France Taught in English catalog opens up for you. This is where you come to research the programs that you want to apply for. So you can either type in the program name in the search bar or you select the option from the field of study. Now, you need the information over here to make it much easier when you're filling up your program card. So for me, for my master's degree, I want to do something that is about the environment or earth sciences or environmental engineering. So I'm going to search for anything environment. So I'm considering something about environment. Now with the environment, I want to focus on water because I've seen that galamsey in Ghana is a bit too much. I want to know I want to study a program that will help me, curb galamsey here in Ghana. So I look through this list and I see this program, Environmental Risk Water and Wind and Engineering Track. It seems interesting to me. So I take note of the program name, the school, and then the city. Now let's see if there's any one. Then I look through up here, I see your F and water under global change. This seems like a very good program that I would want to apply for. Let me open it up and see what this program is about. So when you click on it, you get to see a program description, the link to the program website, some information about the program, admission requirements, objectives of the program, and the tuition. Now, to get more information about the program, it's advisable to go onto the website to get more information about the program so that you'll be well abreast of what you're going into. So you just go through the program, read about the program details and what it's going to entail. Now, when you're done, you note that also, and then you go back and search for the other programs, you note them down. So I have got all the programs that I want to apply for. I've managed to select about 5 programs so far. So now the next thing is to fill up my program card. I go back to Études en France. I wish to apply. 1.2, fill the program card. Now this part is where you're going to have to select the programs that you have already found here. So to make your search much easier, you are to use certain keywords. So I click add a program. So I have add program to the cart. You leave this option as is. You don't actually only select this one if you're applying for a French taught first degree program. That is the first year of an undergraduate program. Now, there's a program search bar. This is where you come to search for the programs that you've already found so that you can add them to your program cart. Now, to make your search much easier, you are to search with a word or two words of the program's name and the city where the school is found in, all which you can find in the Campus France Taught in English catalog. So my very first program is water engineering. That's Masters in Water Engineering and Water Management at INSA Toulouse. So I use just a word or two words of the program name. So I have water engineering, then I put a comma, then I type out the city where the school is found in. The school is found in the city called Toulouse. And then I hit search. Now this page opens up for you. You get to see, usually it should look something like this. So you click on the plus to open it up. Then you click on the plus to open up the master's option. So I have International Master Water Engineering and Water Management for international students. This is the exact program that I saw. I click on that. Then it brings me down to the institution. This is the exact program INSA Toulouse. Now, there are some of the programs that you can select the year of enrollment. So whether you want to apply for it as an M1 program or as an M2 program. Now, the difference between M1 and M2 is very simple. M1 is for the first year of a master's degree. M2 is for the second year of a master's degree. And as a Ghanaian with a full 4-year bachelor degree, you're at liberty to apply for an M2 program. So you can also select whether you want to apply for an M1 or an M2. So I have studied environmental science already, so I don't want to start with an M1, I'll just go for an M2. Then I select the institution. Now it says review the selected program. So you click on this to give you information about the program just to make sure that it is exactly what we saw. So this is generally a 2-year program. You get to see the language of instruction, whether it's in English or in French. Now, mind you, there are some programs in the Taught in English catalog. When you search over here and then you go and search on Etudes en France, it will let you know that the language is in French. It means that the program is taught in both French and English, and with such programs, if you don't have a proficiency in French, I would strongly advise against selecting such programs. So you get to read about the prerequisites of the program. And then I see, warning, additional admission process is required by the institution. What this means is the institution needs you to do an additional application on the school's website, regardless of your Etudes en France application. Now, when you see something like this, you have to pay close attention, because if you do only one of the two applications, you would not be considered for an admission. So if you want to be selected for this program, you need to do the two applications, one on the Etudes en France platform and another directly on the school's website. So you get to see the link to the school's website right beneath here. And you also get the contact detail of the program coordinator and then some other contacts over here. So this just gives me information about the program. I click close. This is a program that I want to apply for. So I click add selected program to the cart. When I'm done, I go back up to the program search bar to search for the next program that I want to apply for. Now, I've been able to add all my programs to my program cart. Hooray! So we click back to the program cart. Now we get to see the list of all the schools and the programs that we have selected. The final and last thing that we have to do is to write out motivational letters. Now you need to put up a motivational letter specific to each of the programs and each of the schools. Do not use ChatGPT to write your motivational letter. It is not allowed. And keep your motivational letter very brief and concise. Do not focus too much on your past, but talk more about your future. You're going to just briefly explain or talk about your educational background, why you have selected the particular program in that particular school. So you need to do some research into the program to know exactly why this program is something that is good for you. Then you also need to state what are your future goals and plans, long term and short term, and how do you think studying this particular program is going to help you achieve them? So I have already written down my motivational letters. I go into my documents. Uh, I have motivational letter. So I open up that document to make this section go quickly and very, very fast for me. All right. So I go back to my program part. Incomplete application essay is missing. I click write my application essay. It gives you a list of instructions and then you have the list of all the programs that you've selected. So now you're to check the box beside the program that you're ready to write for. So that is water engineering and water management at INSA Toulouse. I click new application essay. I give my essay a title. It doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. So my title is Motivational Letter, Masters in Engineering. I come here and then I paste. Now, perfect. I scroll down, then this is where I need to write out my motivational letter. I have a limited character space of 2,500 characters, so I need to be aware. It has to be precise so that I can get all the necessary details and information I need. Do not talk vaguely about your future goals and plans. You need to go in depth. What exactly about the program makes you want to choose this school or this program? So I go into my document, I copy out my motivational letter for the school. I click on that, I come back, and then I paste. I don't want to spend too much time over here, so I just copy and paste, and then I do the finishing touches. So you don't also have to put in your address or the school's address. Remember, you don't have enough space already. So you just go straight to the point, Dear Admissions Committee. You briefly introduce yourself, and then you talk about why you selected the programs, what your goals are, and how the program would help you achieve them. Then I click Save. So I'm done with the very first motivational letter. I go back up, I check the box beside the next school, I click New Application Essay. Now I need to give it a title as well, so I come back. There I have my title. Come back, I paste it in. I go and select the motivational letter. Come to Études en France, and then I paste it. And then I do whatever formatting that needs to be done, just so that my letter looks very presentable and easy to read. You don't want it very cumbersome. So I'm done with all the programs under Master en Différencié, Recherche et Professionnel. So when I'm done, I go back to my program part. I'm left with one more letter to add. So this part is complete. Then I'm left with the Master of Science option. I click Write my application essay. I check the box. I click New Application Essay. I give my essay a title. Select. And then I add my letter. So you see, I selected 5 programs and I had to put up 5 different letters for each of these programs because the schools are going to have access to only the letter that you provide them. So it needs to be good. Now, your motivational letter is a very key point when it comes to your selection process from the school. They need to know exactly why you feel you merit a spot in their school for this particular program. So you also need to be very, very convincing. It doesn't mean you should lie. It doesn't mean that you should use ChatGPT. So I'm done with adding my letters. My program cart is finally complete. Now it gives me this warning sign again that my cart includes programs that are requesting a separate application, and that has this particular icon. So that is the one in Toulouse and the one in Palaiseau. So later on, I go onto the website, I click the view button, and then I go onto their website to submit a separate application over there as well. I do not forget to do this. So you can mark your calendars and then keep checking on the school's websites to find out if they're open or not. So I click back. Now, under the very first step, we have finally been able to add our personal details and all our documents. We have filled up our program card. So the third thing to do now is to submit my file to Campus France. It has been a very long journey, but we're almost at the finish line. So I click Submit File to Campus France. Now it gives you a summary of all the things that you have done, your personal details, your background, your language skills, and the programs that you've selected. Everything needs to be showing as complete. Then you review the file and submit. So you check the box that says that you certify that the above statements are true and correct to the best of my knowledge, and then the same thing in French. Je certifie avoir pris connaissance des prérequis relatifs aux formations auxquelles je candidate. Then I select Submit your file to Campus France, Ghana. Then it asks you if you really want to submit your file to Campus France because you can't make any changes after this. Yes, I'm done with everything, so I click Complete. Great. Now my file has been submitted to Campus France, Ghana. So I need to log in regularly to check the status of my file because Campus France would have to review it and then get back to me. It says information regarding the status of your application will be sent by email. So if there's any update, you'll receive an email to come check your account. So basically, this is how you submit a simple application on the Campus France Etudes en France platform. If you have all the necessary documents already scanned, your choice of school selected, your motivational letters written, then this should be done within less than an hour. It is a very straightforward procedure and it doesn't take too much time. So regularly, I'll be coming to check to see if Campus France has reviewed my file already. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope by now you should have already learned what the Études en France portal is, how to select the programs that you want, how to add your documents, and how to complete your application as a whole. Thank you very much for sticking and staying with me, and I will meet you in the next video. Au revoir.